come before the general faculty. Okay, right there, yes.
I think the parliamentarian has a PDF of our resolution to display. Excuse me.
Since it's your motion, you should read it. You don't have to read the whereas, but you should read the therefore. But if you want to read the whereas, and if you think that's appropriate, then you're the individual who is to present the motion.
I would like to move that we vote on passing the following resolution requesting that the Strom Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center be renamed. Whereas many members of the university committee, including Marcus Lattimore, Mo Brown, Natasha Hastings, Chelsea Kirst, Christopher Campbell, and Dawn Staley have asked that the Strom Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center be renamed. Therefore, be it resolved that the faculty of the University of South Carolina requests that the Board of Trustees rename the Wellness and Fitness Center.
Okay, so I have a copy of it right here. So can I repeat it? So the resolution is that whereas many members of the university community, including Marcus Lattimore, Mo Brown, Natasha Hastings, Chesley Christ, Christopher Campbell, Charlemagne Thagad, Theodore McKelvey, Dawn Staley, have asked that the Strom Thurmond Wellness and Fitness Center be renamed. Therefore, be it resolved that the faculty of the that the faculty of the University of South Carolina represents that the Board of Trustees rename the Wellness and Fitness Center. So that's what I have here. Is that in line with what you have there? Okay, so there's the motion. I would need a second. Okay, I have a second. All right. At this time, please, let's open up for discussion. Yes, sir.
Augie Grant, School of Journalism. I think this is a matter that I'm personally supportive of, but I'm going to vote against at this point because I think the matter should be referred to the Faculty Senate for debate. I don't think we have sufficient representation of the faculty today to pass a resolution of this type, and I would like to see this go through the faculty. I may have missed something, but I don't remember seeing it. So I'm moving that we refer this resolution to the Faculty Senate for consideration.
Okay, so do I act on that motion now?
No, you asked for a second.
Is there a second on that motion to move it to the Faculty Senate? I have a second and another second. So now, do I vote on the second motion, or do I vote, or do we have discussion on the second motion to move it?
There's debate on the referral.
Okay, so now we're going to have discussion and debate on referring it to the Faculty Senate.
I agree 100% with Professor Augie Grant, except with the COVID-19 virus, I don't want to guess when we'll be able to have more people in the room. I would rather not see this delayed by a year or so. And in a perfect world, I'd agree with delaying. Given the reality, I think we should try to pass this now.
Okay, so I didn't understand all of that. You're suggesting that we delay it now?
No, he wants to consider it here.
Do not delay. COVID-19 is going to shut us down for a long time.
So I'm going to continue the discussion. Faculty Senate is still operating, and we've had better attendance at Faculty Senate since we've been virtual than we ever do in person. So this will not be delayed till the next general faculty meeting, because Faculty Senate can pass resolutions anytime at any meeting.
Okay, there was a comment there. Thank you.
I'm just curious what the state law regarding this would say as to the eventual impact of such a vote. And so I think that's also something worth consideration. I know that that's something that the committee is addressing. Have you made any progress on that as far as changing of building names by state law and how that's going to be addressed moving forward? And I think that would be part of the Senate conversation as well, but I'm not sure.
So you're asking what the status is of changing the state law? Is that your question? Can you put the mic closer? I'm having trouble understanding.
It's currently against state law for any state university to change
That's
the
correct.
building name. So I'm wondering what the status is of your communications of moving in that direction and whether our faculty vote would have any weight, or would it just be a decision on our part that we'd like it changed?
Sorry, I'm gonna step in here. Sometimes parliamentarians have to be a killjoy. That is not actually relevant to the question of referral. That is, that would either be, if referred to the faculty senate, a really good question to send to or carry to the faculty senate. But since we are discussing referral of the question, we cannot go into substance of the original motion. Sorry.
Can I give,
Questions about what?
can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Well, so I would just say this. So right now there's a process in place through the Presidential Naming Commission to address this issue. So the Presidential Naming Commission, that was referred to in previous discussion, is looking at this. I've actually had a meeting with them or the other day before yesterday. I want them to come up with all the history of all the different buildings, the history of the names of the people in those buildings and those that are controversial. And there's 67 buildings. They've already identified which ones they think are controversial, including Strom, and they would bring that forward with a recommendation. Depending on that recommendation, they would have the forum for the open candidate dialogue and discussion on each one that they recommend to be renamed. And that's the process to allow that conversation to take place. So that process is in place to move forward. If they go forward with a recommendation to rename it, then it comes to me as president that I forward to the board. The board then takes that and they will make a decision whether to forward to the General Assembly or not, because in accordance with the Heritage Act, it's the General Assembly that has to approve it, not the board, unless the Heritage Act is either found unconstitutional or removed, or it's voted to be removed. So that's the existing process that's in place. And anyway, so that we can go with that. I think that process is going to continue regardless of what we vote here. But your vote and your position, whether it's from the faculty senate or from this group right here, will be very important. And I'm sure it's going to have a large voice. Yep.
So I guess there's two things I'm a bit confused about. So I emailed both you and Provost Tate with a detailed explanation about how the Heritage Act doesn't apply to Strom Thurmond because he's unrelated to the Confederacy and the Civil Rights Act. Was I mistaken, or have you not had time to look into that issue?
Again, Professor Cass, I have to give you, as parliamentarian, and I have to give the same response that I gave the professor here about the discussion after the president made his remarks. The discussion goes back to the point of referral. If he wants to answer this, that's fine, but we are actually supposed to be discussing remarks. The remarks are supposed to be focused on the question of referral.
Doesn't apply to the university president. So you spoke to the process created by the president's commission. How was that process created? Is that something that you decided, or was it created by another means?
It was actually decided and assembled right before I took over. And then the paperwork to commission it was on my desk the day I assumed responsibility as president. the very first thing I did as the president of this university was to sign it. Since it was put together before I got there, I don't exactly know how all that came together. I know the board played a role in that, and I know my predecessor did as well. Okay, so the discussion at hand is to, because we'll vote on this motion, to move this resolution or this motion to the faculty senate for debate rather than in this particular forum today. One of the concerns that was expressed was there's inadequate faculty representation in this group right here, and that we would have better faculty representation in the faculty senate. So is there any other further discussion on that motion? Okay, so seeing no other further discussion, I'm going to call for a vote. The vote is to move this resolution to the faculty senate for debate. All right. All right, so that's the motion now for a vote. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Okay, so the motion carries. So we will take this resolution and move it to the faculty senate. All right. Is there any other new business to come before the general faculty? All right, is there anything else for the good of the order? All right, so before I entertain a motion to adjourn, let me just tell the faculty one more time